Welcome to today's golf story from history. Today we're going to dive into one of the most unbelievable stories in all of sports history. We're headed to Augusta National, the home of the Masters tournament, to talk about a mistake so shocking that it changed the outcome of one of golf's biggest championships. And it all came down to a mistake that we all have probably made before. This is the story of Roberto De Vicenzo and the biggest mistake in Masters history. It's 1968. We're at the Masters. Roberto De Vicenzo is an Argentinian golfer. He's super famous. He's 45 years old and he's still competing at the highest level. He's not a young star anymore, but he is respected around the world. That year, 1968, he played some of the best golf that he's ever played at Augusta. On the final day, he shot a brilliant round of 65 that should have had him tied with American golfer Bob Goalby for first place, which would have forced an 18-hole playoff the next day, and a playoff at Augusta is always exciting, so who wouldn't want that? But here's where the story takes an insane turn. And if you're not familiar with golf, at the end of each round, the players have to compare their scorecards, make sure they have the right score. It's not just tradition, it is the rules. Each player keeps the other's score, and at the end, they look at the scores and they sign to confirm that they're correct. If there's a mistake, the rules are brutal. If your scorecard shows a higher score than you actually made, then the higher score stands. But if your scorecard shows a lower score than you actually got, then you are disqualified automatically. De Vicenzo's playing partner that day was Tommy Aaron, and on hole 17, he mistakenly recorded him for a 4 instead of a 3, and he signed that scorecard at the end of the round. And that little error, that tiny pen mark on paper, that changed history forever. Instead of a 65, the official scorecard read 66, taking him out of the tie for the lead and taking him out of any chance of a playoff or the win, and it left him one shot behind Goalby. Even though it was Aaron who recorded the incorrect score, ultimately De Vicenzo suffered the consequences. When reporters swarmed him after the round and asked him about the mistake, he famously said, "What a stupid I am." He took it really hard and he blamed it all on himself. It's one of the most heartbreaking quotes in sports history. Bob Goalby went on to win the 1968 Masters without a playoff, and to this day, he's famously known as the man that won the Masters because of somebody else's scorecard mistake. Even Goalby himself admitted it was an awkward victory and that's not how he wanted to win, but the rules are rules. As for Robert De Vicenzo, he handled it with pure class. He didn't make a scene, he just accepted it, and he didn't try to get sympathy. He just went on and moved on with his life. A year later, he went on to win the British Open and solidified his place as one of golf's greats. But the 1968 Masters will for sure always be the one that got away.